Good day. Ready? Hey, Gabriel here with the Icon Capture GPS Intelligence Brief for June 16, 2026. All right, government affairs directors and influence practitioners, we need to talk because this is one of those boards where if you only look at the opportunity count, you are going to misread the market. Here's what I want to do with you today. I want to walk through the new opportunity flow, the legislative and executive movement, the regulatory and court signals, and then bottom line what this means if you're actually managing a portfolio right now and trying to decide where to lean in, where to stay patient, and where you may be kidding yourself. Quick note before we get in, the GPS demand signal review is still open. 8 seats. The terrain that triggered this session has not shifted. Federal demand signal, 5,511 new opportunities in the pipeline. If you've been watching these briefs and thinking about it, today's board makes the case. Code GPS 551 holds a seat and the 30-day preview. Links in the description. So let's get right to the facts. Over the last 168 hours, GPS surfaced 5,511 new opportunities posted on SAM.gov. 2312 legislative signals, 0 federal hiring signals across all agencies, and all of that is happening while market BCL is 0% with 0 agencies stalled under the continuing resolution. The capture terminal is lighting up with 55 and 11 opportunities in this 168-hour window. At first glance, that's a healthy volume, but let's dig deeper. The top postings like the P-8A aircraft full-rate production and the DHS Cloud Initiative lack specified amounts. This absence of financial specifics can indicate a few things. Perhaps a strategic play to draw in a wider range of bidders, or a simple oversight that reflects the fast-paced churn of federal contracting. If you read this policy tape effectively, you know that raw volume without context can be deceptive. With 0 activity in executive signals and no DFARS adjustments, we're seeing a landscape where traditional compliance friction is unusually absent. Yet, the capture ticker reveals that 2312 legislative signals are buzzing, suggesting a bottleneck where regulation is outpacing execution. This disparity hints at potential accessibility issues. Government affairs directors and influence practitioners should consider whether these opportunities are truly accessible or if they're more of a paper tiger, a signal to be cautious about where you place your bets. The lack of BCL activity further underscores a key point. The opportunities might be numerous, but they are not necessarily ripe. Without the benchmark contract language adjustments, the market remains in a holding pattern. Managers who read this tape know that accessibility is not just about volume. It's about understanding which doors are truly open and whether the entry cost is justified by the potential rewards. With 0 terrain holes and no hiring spread across agencies, we're seeing a static operational field, one that might mislead the untrained eye into complacency. However, the complete absence of court opinions and lobbying clusters tells a different story to those versed in the intricacies of influence. It suggests a market mispricing where the status quo is being maintained, possibly masking underlying shifts that are yet to surface. The lack of lobbying activity, in particular, raises a flag for those attuned to the nuances of policy influence. This silence can mean one of two things. Either the current legislative environment is under tight control, or there's a strategic pause as stakeholders recalibrate their approaches in anticipation of upcoming changes. For government affairs directors, these are the moments to look for smart portfolio moves, an opportunity to get ahead by anticipating those shifts before they become apparent. The absence of new court opinions further contributes to a sense of quietude, but don't mistake this for an absence of risk. It could imply that protest risks are lying dormant, waiting for the right trigger. If you're reading this tape with a keen eye, consider diversifying your influence strategies now, while the market seems still on the surface. Ultimately, this combination of secondary signals tells us that the market might be primed for a shift. The savvy move is to stay nimble, keep an ear to the ground, and prepare for the unexpected. In this landscape, the best strategy is one that balances patience with readiness to act at the first sign of significant motion. The current market landscape for government affairs and influence professionals is characterized by a dynamic interplay of regulatory shifts and stakeholder realignments, necessitating agile positioning strategies. Professionals should be asking, how can we anticipate and adapt to regulatory and court signals to maintain compliance without stalling progress? What are the potential protest risks and how can we mitigate them efficiently? How do we navigate lane changes in policy to align stakeholder interests effectively? In this environment, maintaining a proactive stance on policy velocity while strategically positioning stakeholders is essential for minimizing compliance friction and optimizing influence. One more time on this, because the brief we just walked through is exactly the argument for it. The capture terminal, same intelligence we just read, filtered to your book, running overnight. The GPS demand signal review is still open. 8 seats. The terrain that opened this session is still holding. Code GPS 551 at communities.theicon.ai/capture the-govcon-elite. Window closes June 19th at midnight. 6.8 million records, 4 verticals ready. Provenance traced from bill to award. Like and subscribe if you're managing a federal grant, research, GovCon, or commercial portfolio. I drop a new GPS brief every weekday. All links, terminal preview, Shipley sessions, live cohort calendar, and the full brief are at communities.theicon.ai/capture/the-govcon-elite. Register free, and it's all there. This is Gabriel. I'll see you tomorrow. I notice you've been inactive for a moment.